So because it's Monaco, it's something different this week. We're going to start with the nuts and bolts of it. We're going to start with qualifying, where we know Monaco is the big day on Saturday. So let's have a look at the three main protagonists. We've got Lando Norris in the blue here, got Charles Leclerc in the red, and Oscar Piastri in the green. It was a thrilling three-way fight for that pole position. Looked like it was going to be a McLaren v McLaren. Then Leclerc put it on provisional pole and Norris took it away right at the death, with McLaren opting for a different strategy. So, first of all, let's have a look at the three of them together. And the interesting thing here is, at this point, you can see the blue line of where Lando Norris's pace is. He is slower than both Leclerc and Piastri coming out of the tunnel. So for half a lap, he's actually set to be third on the grid. So it shows what a good job he did for the second part, and where some of the others might have missed their opportunities, because it was tight margins, even if it was the biggest margin that Norris has taken pole on, or anyone's taken pole so far this year. So it's a messy graph with three. Let's cut it down to two. We have, first of all, Norris v Leclerc. So again, you can see the gap that Leclerc has over Lando. He's quite considerably up as they come to the braking zone for the Nouvelle chicane. Norris is very good in the chicane. It's a tenth to Leclerc before that, though. Let's have a look at the attitude of the Ferrari car versus the McLaren coming through this middle sector, because actually this is where Leclerc was pretty strong on an area that should have been quite good for McLaren. So we can see on the right-hand side, you've got Charles coming into the hairpin. It's a horrible corner, this. It's the tightest by far on the whole Formula One calendar, but it's about rotating the car. And there's a lot of time in these low-speed corners. And look at the steering of Charles on the right-hand side, as he just has to shuffle slightly before committing to the full lock, because his Ferrari is rotating naturally through this corner. It's pretty quick from Leclerc at this point. Then we come down to the first part of Portier, down the hill. Both drivers getting right over that curb, up onto the pavement. And I love the exit of this one as well, seeing how close they get to the barriers between these two Portier corners. And look at Leclerc. He's almost brushing that barrier, giving it absolutely everything through this section. And as we play it through one more corner, they're both fighting a little bit of understeer heading through this final one. It's an important one with the longer straight on the exit. But Leclerc is quick there, and he's 1/10 up on his lap at this point. But it changes right at the end. So we go back to the data and we can see Leclerc's actually holding this advantage right till the final corner. But it's the last two where Norris is really, really good. Lando actually makes a little mistake in the second part of the swimming pool. So we'll see that in a second. But it's the Rascasse and Anthony Nogues where his minimum speed is actually just higher than Leclerc's. In both of those two, you can see the blue speed doesn't come down as far. He's rotated the car. He's got right up to the apex, and he has made the crucial difference on the last corner of the circuit. That's the fine margins that in the end the Monaco Grand Prix win will be decided by. So let's have a look at the two again, and we can relive this. But I just love seeing the onboards of these cars and how quickly, on a full tilt pole lap, how aggressive they are to try and deliver the maximum. So we head into the first part of the swimming pool. Such a perilous corner, this one, because you've got the barrier that greets you on the outside, but you've got to get right up to this apex wall as well. And once again, look at Leclerc right up. It looks like he's going to drill into the wall. And actually, when you're driving this, you aim for the end of the wall and your natural momentum will shift him. So it's just perfectly almost arcing round that inside barrier. It's perfection from Leclerc here. For Lando, it's not bad as well. It's a pole lap, so it's never going to be bad on any given corner. But there is a slight mistake here for Norris. If we just wind it back, he gets over that yellow sausage curb a bit more than he would have liked. He said afterwards he was gambling, he was taking risks. This is perhaps one that didn't quite pay off at this point, and it just unsettles his car, launching him with oversteer, almost heading to the barrier on the exit. So there's a little bit of a time loss for Norris at that point. But if we play it through now, he's behind Charles once again on this lap. Now he's about to deliver two of his best corners on the circuit right at the death. So we play it through. And at this point, you can just see the rotation that Norris has got through Rascasse. He's pointing in a much better way than Leclerc. He's rounded more of the corner early on. You can see Charles cranking on the lock, trying to rotate that Ferrari on the right-hand side, whereas Lando's got much more turning done. And now, here we go. He's right past the apex as Leclerc's just washing slightly wider, and Lando can straighten up and get out of that corner. One to go. And once again, Norris taking risk here, turning it in so early. getting right up to that barrier at Anthony Nogues as well. This is perfection from Norris at the end of the lap, chancing his arm, turning it in early, hope it's going to grip up, but not too much that he's just going to clonk that inside wall. And it is just brilliant from him. Charles here, meanwhile, is neck and neck with Lando, but he cannot get on the gas at this point. He's got more steering lock on. He's heading towards that outside wall, and he just has to feather out slightly at that point. And that is your pole position for Lando Norris compared to Charles Leclerc. Really, really tiny margins. Lots of give and take through the lap. It's difficult to do the absolute perfect lap around Monaco, but it's hustle all the way through. And the final corner did it for Norris over Leclerc.
I feel good. I don't think you realize how good this feels, you know, for quite a few struggles over the last couple of months. Especially here in Monaco, it's a beautiful place, the hardest track probably to do it, up against the hometown hero as well, you know. So I'm very proud of the whole team. We've worked a lot this week, actually over the last few months, to get to a day like today. So I'm very pleased.
What about Piastri then and Norris? Because I said before, again, at the halfway point on the lap, you got Oscar slightly ahead of Lando, half a tenth ahead. But that all goes awry for Oscar there. As you see, the graphs just shoot up. He's lost a tenth in the chicane, the Nouvelle chicane. That is going to go here. As you see, the red just doesn't accelerate as quick as the blue coming out of the corner. Why is that? Let's take a look. On board with them as they flash back into the sunlight. And again, maximum hustle up towards the apex walls. Look at that from Oscar Piastri on the right-hand side. He's almost skimming that barrier on his final throws of qualifying. It's really, really fantastic. Norris isn't a mile away either. There's millimeters between them and the walls. This is driving at the absolute highest level. But for Oscar, it's about to get away from him at this point. He's carrying the speed through, brilliant up to the left-hand apex. If I pause it there, there's just another half a car width that he's not been able to rotate the car in the first part of the swimming pool, which means that Lando on the exit of this one can have a much straighter line out, whereas Oscar has to really wiggle his way through the second part of this Nouvelle chicane. As we play it through, you can really see that now. Lando getting on the gas, still fighting the rear of the car, moving around slightly. Great to see around Monaco, whereas Oscar's still turning to the right-hand side, trying to get the car back before this jutting wall there that actually Lando hit in qualifying a couple of years ago. You're getting right up to every single barrier around here, but Oscar cannot get on the gas, and that is why he lost that speed up to the back. And really, that is the reason that Oscar lost his pole chance as well. So tiny mistakes here or there. Overall, fantastic job from Lando Norris to take the pole.
Quite reminiscent of last year, to be honest. My first lap felt good, and then the second lap, a mistake in the chicane, in the harbour chicane, and yeah, left a little bit on there. I think to beat Lando today was going to be tough. So well done to him.